Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but there has been a lot of hype about this Tesla Model 3 Highland, and you might have noticed that it is not coming out to the US at all. So we're going to talk about some reasons why this is simply the reason why it's not coming to the US, and also my thoughts on it as well. And it's pretty simple, and it has everything to do with the tax credits. So we're going to talk about that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got Joy, Andy. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining. So let us jump into this. If you saw this, we'll talk about some other Model 3 updates or Model 3 Highland updates as well, because there's been some other updates that people have found out, or people have photoshopped, or even people have put into the design. So we'll take a look at it. But in case you missed this post yesterday, this is the best look yet at the Model 3 Highland. We can see it. These are high definition photos, really nice looking, really sleek. And this makes me really like the red paint color. If you're not a fan, I bet it looks much better in person. But let us talk about why this Model 3 Highland has not been released in the market of the United States first. So if you take a look at it right now, it's China market and pretty much Europe markets as well. There's a lot of Europe YouTubers that we're able to watch and see all their different reviews of it. But some weird thoughts from John Rittinger from it about the Model 3 not coming out. But Ryan Shaw posted this as his guess. Quote, my guess is that they didn't want the Model 3 rollout to go out like this, but Fremont is lagging Shanghai, so they had to release it. But yeah, what Tesla should you buy in the US right now? Model 3, wait. Model Y, wait. Highland style refresh in 2024. Model S, get the Model 3 Highland instead, question mark. And Model X, get the R1S, question mark. Of course, this might have been posted, well, it definitely was posted before those massive price drops of the Model X and Model X dropping $10,000 plus on both vehicles. So of course the Model S and Model X are pretty much the best deal out there. And I think that's really essentially it, right? Tesla probably put the pause button for the America release, but really more likely because they've got a ton of inventory in stock. If you take a look at waitingfortesla.com, our favorite inventory site, you can see there's 282 Tesla Model 3s available for sale. If you look at Tesla info, I think this is the exact reason why Tesla is not releasing the Model 3 Highland in the American markets first, is because they've got a lot of sell down or clearance that they need to do. And on top of that, they can still stick to this narrative or this perception in the US that the reasons why they should, or reasons why they cannot sell the Model 3, the new Model 3 just yet. And that reason, I think the biggest, is this federal tax credit, this massive $7,500 federal tax credit. If you take a look on the Tesla website, when you go to the pages, you can see that Tesla highlights the $7,500 federal tax credit. It says all new Model 3s qualify currently for the federal tax credit for eligible buyers. And if you click on certain portions of the website, it does say that Tesla, with the Model 3, that quote reductions to the tax credit are likely after December 31st. So I think Tesla can stick to this story like, hey, we've got this great vehicle. It qualifies for the full $7,500 now. You got the full hardware 3.0. The Model 3 Highland also has model hardware 3.0 from what it looks like. So you might as well get this vehicle, save all the money that you can, plus the massive inventory discounts that are happening right now, anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 off all different Model 3 versions. And so that seems to be the best deal that you can get currently. So I feel like that's the reason, that's the true reason why the Model 3 Highland hasn't came out. But of course, releasing the Model 3 Highland in all these different markets and all these different medias is definitely going to have some sort of effect on the current Model 3, and people are going to have to make this tough decision decision. Do I want to save a bunch of money on the current one, like buying the last iPhone generation, whatever, or do I just stick it out and wait it out? Because one thing is for sure, Tesla's not going to have these great discounts that you see on the screen right off the bat. And on top of that, we are already hearing it from other markets that yes, in the US, we have this great Tesla referral code program where we can get anywhere from $500 to $1,000 off, just like that Tesla referral code down below in the description. But we are starting to hear from other markets that you cannot use a Tesla referral code to buy the new Model 3 Highland. It seems like some markets you can and maybe some markets you cannot. But definitely check out the Tesla referral code down below in the description. But we've got some other news of the Tesla Model 3 Highland that we can take a look at as well. Of course, I was very spoken and said I didn't really like these new Model 3 Highland rims, but I definitely like them in black. I feel like anything in black looks a lot much better, right? So you can see right here, Model 3 Highland, I guess they're called these Nova wheels. I didn't know that at all, but Nova wheels in black, I am a fan for sure. But Nova wheels in silver, I guess I got to see them in person before that. And also it looks like in China, they're already starting to deliver these vehicles to showrooms. You can see we've got the base 18-inch rims with the actual rim when you take off the hubcap. And you can see Tesla Model 3s are already in transit and already heading to your local Tesla showroom in, of course, China, and not, of course, in any of the other markets out there. But really cool to see that Tesla Shanghai was really quick to turn around and start to deliveries. And hopefully, maybe Fremont is lagged, and that's why we don't have this Tesla vehicle yet. But of course, at the same time, the best deal, of course, is going to be on your older Tesla Model 3. And the last thing was this post. You probably have all seen the Car Wow video, or if you haven't, definitely go to Tesla or definitely go to YouTube and check out Car Wow's review of driving the new Tesla Model 3. But here's some quick tips from that. They said, quote, noise and comfort is now up there with the Germans. That's a big thing to say because I've always said that Tesla Model 3 and Model Y are not the best in terms of comfort levels and also noise levels. But if they're up there with the quietness of the Germans, maybe he's talking about the Tesla or he's talking about the German electric vehicles, then that would definitely be a nice, cool thing. And then the next thing they said was a solid buy recommendation, which is also good to see coming from Car Wow, which gets into cars all the different times, and really cool to see that they were able to highlight that and really show up. But really cool stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Do you agree that the reason why Tesla has not released the Model 3 into the US market is because of inventory or the tax credit, or do you think it's because of all these delays that potentially the Fremont factory might have over the Shanghai factory, which Shanghai seems to be a lot more quicker than all these other different factories? We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you support the channel and you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But thanks for coming in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for dropping the comments, the like buttons and everything. Happy Sunday. Hopefully you're all having a great Labor Day weekend. We've got a handful of topics, and this next one, a lot of you are certainly going to be interested in this next topic. So we've got a lot of this Model 3 Highland hype, but what about the Model Y Project Juniper? There's also going to be allegedly a refresh coming soon in the near future, maybe mid 2024. My best guess is it's going to be 1 year after the Model 3 Highland refresh, or if Tesla has an inventory problem like they currently do now with the Tesla vehicles in the US, maybe they'll release this quicker. But Tesla right here, you can see on this inventory tracking chart, Model Y inventory is hitting a pretty high level. Model 3 inventory is also creeping up as well, but Tesla's probably going to release a lot more promotions, incentives, and of course discounts, which we'll talk about in the next topic. But what about the Model Y Highland, right? So we've got some interesting new concept designs out there from Chris Zhang and also RIVIAN Design. We can see we've got the same nice new front that is taken from the Model 3 Highland and smacked it right onto a Model Y. And I've been taking a look at this. I kind of like the design on this now. I think the Model 3 is a little bit too slim, but I guess putting it on a Model Y and making the same type of effects kind of makes it look a little bit better for sure. But But here's another post from RIVIAN Design. You can see RIVIAN was one of the earlier renders that released a Model 3 Highland that was basically spot on with the actual design release. But this would be an exact taking a look at it, what it would be if they were to put on the Model Y refresh front onto the Model 3. Here's some more from RIVIAN Design. You can see he's taken the exact styling of the Model 3 and just smacked it around to the Model Y. And of course, we got the Model 3 Highland right here in the back. And I really like it. I would actually purchase this vehicle and just at least try it out, because Model 3 it's small, it's nice. It's just a little bit too small. I mean, I would love to get into another Model Y, because Model Y really makes the most sense for just zipping around and doing a bunch of errands. And it is the great space errand car at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Water break. If you're just joining in, welcome. We talked about why the Model 3 is potentially not come to the US yet. Some people have talked about how it's a delay of the factories. Some people think it's about, maybe Tesla Giga Shanghai was just a lot more quicker to release, and maybe there's too many leaks that they decide, let's just release it ASAP. But I really think it's because Tesla can kind of choose and continue this narrative about the tax credit only going all the way to the end of the year. So they might as well try and use this as much as possible to sell the current Model 3 and sell down that inventory. And then as inventory starts to decrease through maybe this next end of month or end of quarter sales, which we'll talk about, and then they will release the Model 3 after that. But taking a look at inventory charts, Model Y is getting pretty high up there, and Model 3 is also getting pretty high up there. In this next topic, it looks like the end of quarter discounts have begun, and Tesla now has 0% interest rate financing in this market. So let's take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Tesla Chan. He posted this. Tesla initiated a 0% financing interest rate on existing Model 3s that exist in the UK in September. Quote, this is to clean up the old Model 3 in stock, and the UK is also preparing to introduce a new Model 3. Quote, there is also a long-range rear-wheel drive in stock. So why is this interesting, and why are we highlighting this? For one thing, though, is Tesla definitely likes to copy and paste incentives from other markets that seem to work into the US. And the other thing why this is interesting is because the UK is another country that currently does not have the Model 3 Highland refresh posted onto their websites, and so they don't have it existing yet onto their market as well. So they're kind of just like the US. So the question here is Tesla going to be rolling out 0% financing in the US soon? And I don't know if they can do 0% financing, because right now, if you go to the Tesla website, for the Model 3, it is up to 6.19% across all vehicles. So I'm not sure if they could really do it if they wanted to do that, but maybe they can offer a much lower rate, like even maybe 2.99 would get a lot of people interested. Maybe even 3.99 would definitely get a lot of people interested. And what happened pretty recently was that Tesla on the Model S and Model X, they definitely had a problem trying to sell these. They offered a promotional 3.99% interest financing when the usual rate was like 5.89%, but they quickly took it away for whatever reason. So pretty interesting to see that Tesla has now updated this 0% interest rate financing for this market. And so I'm fingers crossed that this comes out to the US as well, because that would definitely be a great promotion to try and clear out existing Model 3 inventory. Because taking a look at the inventory charts, we are seeing a lot of Model 3 inventory that is in stock, of course, not as high as Model Y. So Tesla really needs to do some sort of promotion to try and clear all these out, because especially now that all the other markets, and especially this market now, has seen the new Model 3 Highland, it's kind of got this Osborne effect. And it's like, why would I buy the old one unless it is a killer slamming deal? And right now there's inventory discounts anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 off. Plus you can use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description. You get an extra $500 to $1,000 off your Model 3, Model Y, S, or even X. So definitely check it out. And on top of that, there are ways to get lower monthly payments for financing your Tesla. That's where channel sponsors like Tenet come into play, because Tenet allows you to defer a portion of the loan, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax credit, all the way to the end. And they can do this because they are a Tesla approved financing partner. So definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of videos this month. Of course, if you're looking for the best interest rates that are all lower than Tesla financing, some even as low as 2.99 to sub 4%, that's where you can get the full list at my Tesla Patreon hacking group down below in the description as well. After you join it gets automatically sent to you, and then you can take a look at all the credit unions that all have a lower rate. But of course, right now, Tesla in the US market has 6.19. But if I were a betting man, I bet US is going to have a lower promotional rate on the Model 3 pretty soon. And yeah, pretty soon for sure. Maybe even this month, maybe even in the next couple months. So yes, it could be a great time to buy, and it probably will be, because September is always or the end of each quarter is always a good time to buy. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, or actually after this water break, Ramon, hey Dennis, are they going to make a Model 3 Performance Highland? Right, we actually talked about that yesterday. I think so. It looks like some people are talking that they will be. It's just we don't know when it's going to be. Smart, thanks for coming in. Smart Blind Watch, thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. Turn this off. What else we got? In this next topic, so Tesla has massively cut the Model S and Model X pretty recently, but the question is why? So let's take a look at, because right now the Model S and Model X are essentially the similar price, around $73,000 to $74,000, and the Model X, if you can afford the payment, if you can afford that purchase, it is actually a pretty slick deal, because it qualifies now for that $7,500 federal tax credit in the base configuration. Let's take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. So right now for the Model S, you can get it as low as $74,990. And the quick tip here is that if you go to Tesla, waitingfortesla.com, you can actually find inventory vehicles that bring that discount even lower. You can see right here on the screen, there's one in Colorado Springs with almost a $1,500 discount. And on top of that, if you use a Tesla referral code, you can get an extra $1,000 off a Model S or Model X, just like the Tesla referral code down below in the description. So definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description. But taking a look at it, if you look at the Model X as well, you can see that prices for the Model X are pretty low. But the trick here is, for the Model X, you have to purchase the vehicle under $80,000. So $79,990 actually qualifies. And you can pick any sort of paint color for this, but you cannot add any other options after that. This qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax credit, as long as you as an individual qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax credit. But let's take a look at why. This is a great post from Christopher Dungeon talking about the theory of why there was Tesla Model S and Model X price cuts. I mean, the simple reason is there's not that many buyers in that price range looking to buy the Model S and Model X, but Chris has a great theory on why they actually did it. Quote, software sales support margins. Full self-driving take rate improves as vehicle pricing declines. This isn't necessarily the case with Model 3 and Model Y, but high-end Model S and X customers tend to not hold back on spending, especially when the savings are perceived. So taking a look at it, this was some data taken, I think, from Troy Tesla. Model X FSD take rate is 48% higher than Model S, 46 versus 31. The average Model X buyer is spending $2,250 more, and this spend is likely higher on Plaid variants. And so what this means is, because if people are buying this high of a vehicle anyways, especially if they're going to Plaid or Model S long range, they're probably thinking and taking a look at it like, oh, if it's another $12,000, because now full self-driving is $12,000 instead of $15,000, I might as well tack it on for all the latest, greatest features. And of course, software margins have better margins, and so that's probably why Tesla decided to just whack the price of it as much as they possibly could. And the beauty of this is that the Tesla full self-driving package does not change the MSRP, and so you should still be able to qualify for the $7,500 federal tax tax credit as long as it's not a hardware ad for that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. Do you agree with the theory, or do you think it's just simply because they wanted to sell more vehicles then they just needed to cut the price? But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link to support the channel, where you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. Smart, bro, I just got the Model 3 2 days ago. You remember I was talking to you. No, congrats, smartwatch. Congrats to you. Enjoyed in good health. Definitely check out. Well, congrats to you. And if anybody's about to take delivery or just took delivery, definitely check out our Tesla discount accessory codes down below in the description as well. We got 3D Mats USA for premium floor mats. We've got RIVIAN for interior accessories. We got Jawa for the best interior accessories. And we got MAGBAK as well. Methern, if they do the 0% financing deal for Model 3s, I would certainly snag one instead of getting Model Y, which I'm planning on ordering in a month or two. That's a great point. And we'll talk about some of the upcoming incentives that could be coming out. Smart, I also applied for the CVRP. Let's hope I get it. Let me know how that goes. Hopefully it should be going smooth for you. It is definitely a crunch time. It seems like you came in straight to or down to the wire and was able to get that in. So congrats to you. It seems like you're saving a bunch of money on a Tesla vehicle. Mystic, I would love to see a tri-motor Model 3 Plaid. Yes, I mean, I don't even know what would be the specs on that. On a Model 3 Plaid, like 0 to 60 in what, 2.8 seconds, something crazy like that. That would be absolutely insane. In this next topic, we are now in the best month, or one of the best months, to buy a Tesla. So let's talk about the Tesla upcoming discounts and promotions that might be happening in the near future. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. So right now, Model 3 Highland is out. It's probably putting a lot of pressure on the current inventory. So step number one is to go to waitingfortesla.com. This is where you can see inventory discounts that you might be able to get. You can see right here on this screen, we've got inventory discounts anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 plus. Stack this with a Tesla referral code and you can get an extra $500 to $1,000 off, just like that Tesla referral code down below in the description. So what the inventory discounts might actually be happening is in this next month, as we're in September, because September is the last month of this third quarter. The next month after this, what's going to be for the best time is going to be December, which is the last month of the last quarter of the last year. But right now we are in September. So you can see right here, we've got inventory discounts. This may start to ramp up a lot more. And for sure, what is going to happen at around the third week, we're going to see a lot of demo vehicles pumped into the website as well. And those are where we're going to see the $5,000 to $6,000, maybe even $7,000 inventory discounts. Those are all going to be coming out. So if you're interested in a demo vehicle, if you don't care, it's got a little bit of miles, as long as of course the condition is good, then that's where you're going to be able to get the best possible deal. And on top of that, that's where the referral code is also going to come into play and stack and add more money onto that. But the question here is, what other incentives are they going to release? Tesla in the past have released promotional interest rates, some even as low as 3.99% relatively pretty recently. So Tesla could start to adjust some of the lease payments and also the interest financing rates in the near future. We've got some news out of another market where Tesla just dropped the interest rate down to 0%. So we could easily see the same thing happening here. Maybe not as low as 0%, maybe even 2.99 to 3.99. That would definitely be super interesting. And on top of that, other incentives that Tesla has done below in the past is of course offered free supercharging. I'm not sure they're going to do that, but they could as well. In the past, most recently, as I think in December, Tesla offered like 1 to 2 years of free supercharging for the Model 3 and the Model Y. So they could bring similar things like that in the near future. But I would say we're going to probably hear about it either this Thursday or next Thursday for any sort of added incentives on top of that. But There's some quick promotions and some discounts that Tesla could be bringing out in the near future. And on top of that, it seems like there's a lot of inventory out there. So there's another thing that Tesla used to do, which was called option credit, which would basically waive certain fees for some of the options if they weren't able to match your order to a vehicle. But that usually wasn't in time when Tesla inventory didn't exist as much. But let me know if there's any incentives or promotions that I'm missing, or what types of incentive promotions or promotions would you like to see. Of course, 0% financing is a pretty nice, easy one at the end of the day, which would, I think, could get a lot of people super interested. But some of the other OEMs are doing, like Ford for the Mach-E, I think also has 0%, but definitely not Tesla just yet. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. If you're looking for someone to ask some questions about how to get the best Hyundai Tesla at the best financing rate, that's where you can do that at my Patreon link down below in the description. After you join, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. And you can send me a question via the DM message to ask me any questions, or even schedule a phone call with me where we can go over your exact customized buying situation. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button. Happy Sunday. Ramon, should I buy a Model 3 Performance now or wait? If you need a car now, you might as well do it. If you're in California, you definitely should do it because the CVRP program is ending in 2 days? So try and take delivery ASAP. Smart. Yeah, CVRP's funds ran out September 6th, and I was luckily able to get in the application by today. I got an email saying I am good and currently not selected for additional income verification. Nice. Congrats to you. That's sick. Jordan, I think the Model 3 Highland is going plaid. I mean, that would be crazy specs. What do you think the specs could be on that? 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds or something crazy like that? I think that would be super insane. But thanks for joining in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Happy Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.